Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, C Chronicles here, back again with another fragrance review video. I post fragrance related content, guys, on this platform in case you're here for the very first time, and I'd very much appreciate it if you did consider joining this family by subscribing. And to those who are returning, thank you so much, guys, for the continued support. I appreciate you as always. Also check out my second channel, C Chronicles Unscripted. That channel focuses on my life outside fragrance reviews. The link is in the description box, guys, so if you do check out that channel and subscribe, I'd very much appreciate that as well. Welcome to today's fragrance, guys. Today we are talking about Lattafa's Musaman. I love the presentation, this snake skin. This is a follow-up fragrance to an original Musaman, and that one was brown and that one was targeted for men. It was a spicy fragrance. I didn't add it to my collection, but maybe now that I have this, I might add it and then just compare the two. Okay, so this is how it looks, and you get to the fragrance like that. Kind of looks like a sunglass case or something like that. Okay, so anyway, we're gonna spray Musaman, but before then, let me show you the bottle. It's got that snake thingy. I was just making sure that you can see the name and the snake thing at the same time. Okay, so it does have that traditional snake thingy that we had in the first one. Let me spray this one on my arm. Nice atomizer there, and then we get into it. Okay, so this is Musaman White Intense, a late 2023 composition. Notes listed for this fragrance are citruses at the top and spices. The mid contains coconut, some ylang, ambroxan, and mahonial. The base of this is sandalwood, musk, and some benzoin, right? So this fragrance, guys, has made the rounds as sharing some similarities with Louis Vuitton's Stellar Times. Now, that was one of the reasons why I purchased it. I do get a DNA that is somewhat similar, but let's put it at 50%, somewhere thereabouts, okay? It gives a burst of a fruitiness there. So there's going to be a prominent blast of a fruity, citrusy thing that hits you in the face. They're carrying some spices. That is what you expect, guys. Just at the opening of this fragrance, comes across as a semi-sweet. So I cannot class this as a sweet fragrance. And it also comes across as a quintessential crowd-pleasing type of DNA, right? So this is going to be one that is not Middle Eastern leaning, doesn't have traces of that Middle Eastern tone to it, rather just a fruity floral blast there. And then we get into the ylang. That is where the magic happens, right? After that citrusy blast, it then gives way, guys, to a rich, lush, honeyed ylang that is almost custardy to an extent, and that is the build-up of this fragrance. And it is at that point that the combo of the citruses, the florals, the ylang, light spiciness, that some people are gonna say it's feminine, okay? But I get a unisex type of fragrance in this. Honestly, I get a fragrance that's outright 50-50. This is genderless. So ladies, you can buy this. Men, you can buy this. Now that ylang note mixes with a coconut, and why this fragrance has been likened to that Stellar Times is it's refined, and it is the mix, that continuity that happens in this fragrance, the way it ties up, where it doesn't present this and then walk away, present that and then, you know, take a twist. It's like it's woven, okay? So it presents as one nice thing, but opening a separate page, but being a continuation of the other. So like I said, citrusy burst there at the top, then you get into your ylang, and then that ylang in its honeyedness and its custardiness is then joined in by the coconut. But this coconut is careful enough not to come in its stapleness in other fragrances where it presents as a tropical, or it adds a tropical weight to a fragrance. This coconut is careful enough not to come in as heady. I hope you understand what I mean. I mean, it presents a soft, just adding that soft, creamy texture without its typical headiness that's usually associated with tropical fragrances. So this fragrance retains its floralness. It doesn't shift because of that coconut. Now, when it comes to the florals, for those who want to know exactly what florals are here, the florals in here come across as synthesized. They come across as, like, I couldn't say there is peony in here or lilac in here or jasmine in here. It just comes across like a synthetically coded type of floral tone in this, where you can outright say it has a floral chord in it, but without necessarily saying this floral is a tuberose or this floral is a jasmine, if it makes any sense. This, I'm gonna say, is not nice enough to add to your collection, but it does have that staple, crowd pleasing, almost common would be the wrong word, almost identifiable type of DNA, where it's not going to shock you like, oh my god, I've never smelled this before, but at the same time it's not too common. So it does have a familiarity to it, which can be a pro or a con for other people, especially those who are after very unique fragrances. Okay, so this does have that familiarity there. In terms of seasons, it comes across as a summer leaning fragrance, but there is some weight to this, because remember that custardy thing that we were talking about, you know, that coconut, soft coconut thing, that weight there, that banana-y, ylang honeyed thing, that has a little bit of some weight there with that synthetic floral, enough to make this fragrance one that can be worn all year round. However, it does, to my nose, feel as that sort of DNA that will do the most in the heat. And by saying a summer scent, guys, doesn't necessarily mean it won't do winter. It's just that there are certain DNAs that when you smell like this, you will know, okay, if I sprayed this on myself and went into the sun, this is most likely gonna illuminate there. You know, fragrances like, say for instance, I'm not saying this is the same as that. I'm just saying there are certain DNA. So when I say it's summer leaning, I'm just basically saying it does have those summery accords, you know, that citrusy accord that kind of lights up in the heat, not necessarily meaning that it cannot be worn in other seasons. This fragrance, guys, does 8 hours on clothes, and that is on 8 to 10 sprays. I always use that as a guide, but I sometimes spray 20 to 25 sprays, if you know what I mean. I just usually do the 8 to 10 as a reference. It is unfortunately a fragrance that does disappear on the skin after about 2 hours. And when it comes to skin, it depends, you know, from individual to individual. It could just be me that my skin tends to eat up this fragrance. This fragrance does project. So if you're a person who wears fragrances for compliments, you're most likely gonna have people complimenting you. It does create a scent bubble around you, which is about 4.5 meters there. Anyone close to you within that range will be able to smell this fragrance, and it is gonna be unisex leaning, like I said. So but if you want to know to what extent, I'm gonna say 60%, 65% women are going to favor this DNA, because it doesn't have that quintessential masculine thing, but it's safe enough for men to use as well. So that is the unisex thing I'm talking about. No Middle Eastern traces, no correlation to its brother, let us say, because they did give us Musaman there, which was very woody, spicy, all those sort of things. Okay, this has no correlation to that, so it doesn't feel like a continuation of that. So when I said I might buy it, I didn't mean it in the sense of as a continuation. I just meant in the sense of just maybe having the two and bringing them here as a his and hers. Lattafa is taking a direction where they seem to be concentrating on the Western fragrances. So there's a lot to expect, guys. 2024 is going to be exciting, especially if you love your Lattafas. It does look like those guys have emptied up. They've always emptied up, but it does look like this time even the quality is something that they're paying very much attention to. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Let's meet in the comment section where we'll obviously discuss more about fragrances. Do remember to check out my second channel, CeeChronicles Unscripted, and while you're at it, please remember to subscribe on that channel and turn on post notifications on both. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, guys. And remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.